There's something that you've touched on there, Mheshimiwa Raila, which is on social protection, protecting the vulnerable, and cash transfer program, like you implemented earlier. You have been promising 6,000 shillings in campaign rallies in the public. Now, there's a lot of misconception and misunderstanding of what this 6,000 shillings is all about. Who qualifies for 6,000 shillings? When do they start receiving 6,000 shillings? In fact, when you promote this interview this evening, somebody already sent us a message saying that we ask you for 2,000 shillings. Deposit. Alafu utakata ukiingia serikali. So who qualifies? What is this 6,000 shillings for? Who qualifies for it?
Let me say this. First, there are the facts and there are also jokes about it. The fact is that we are talking about a social protection program. And it's not being introduced in this country, only in the world. It is something that exists in other countries in the world. Like in the UK, most European countries, United States, it's in Brazil. On the continent, it is in Egypt. It is also in Namibia. In fact, we have a Kenyan who helped to design the Namibian program, who is the one who has actually worked with our experts here. And what we're talking about is a number of Kenyans who live below the poverty line. These figures are taken from the Bureau of Statistics, and they have already been profiled. About 2,000 families. When you talk about 2,000 families, you're talking a family, say 4 people per family. Then you're talking about 8 million people. And these are people you're giving money, the family, not individuals. And so if it's 6,000 per family for 2 million people, that's 12 million shillings.
12 billion shillings.
12 billion shillings.
Is it per year, per month?
Per month. Per month. That works to 144 billion shillings per year. We have already costed it, okay? 144 billion shillings per year. We know, for example, the kind of pilferages and losses. The president one day talked about 2 billion shillings per day that is being lost to corruption. President Obama also put it at about 700 billion equivalent Kenyan shillings. So that is roughly what it is. And I know you ask how, but most of that money is being lost through procurement. Particularly through procurement and also through collections, because the budget basically consists of income and expenditure, government. You are under collecting and then you are overspending. That is what it is. If you say about 700 billion shillings is being lost to corruption, if you basically try to block this, you can have a saving, say, of 500 billion shillings. We are talking of only 144 billion shillings. See, but we have also been in the government before. When we went into the government, we found a treasury which is almost empty. The coffers are almost empty. The growth was also negative. The revenue collection was very low, generally. But then we immediately realized the cause of it. The revenue officers, basically are the boys in town. They're the ones who are buying apartment blocks in town. They're the ones who are driving the latest model of cars. They're the ones who are constructing castles in the rural areas. They're the ones who are building high-rise buildings in village markets and so on. So if you do a lifestyle audit, you'll be able to just get rid of this. And what we did exactly that. We suspended them, we did a lifestyle audit, and we actually sacked some, retained those who are not very tainted. transferred them. The other side is the expenditure side of the budget. You have these so-called, they call them procurement officers. They're all seconded into ministries from the treasury. They are the other group, like the revenue officers. Exactly the same thing. The procurement at that time was being done through these officers. There was a government requirement that any procurement above 100,000 shillings had to be done competitively. In other words, you had to advertise in at least 3 leading newspapers.
Yep.
And then there must be at least 3 bidders. And then you award to the lowest, as it were. What we discovered was that each and every one of these procurement officers had 3 companies registered. And so then there was a collusion that this officer is in health, he's supplying water. This one is in water, supplying agriculture. The one in agriculture is supplying roads and so on and so forth. There's a collusion. So anytime you advertise, you will get three bids. And all of those 3 bids are coming from one person. And then the cost is heavily inflated. Like they will be buying, say, a calendar at which should be costing 20 shillings, be buying it 100 shillings. An item which is supposed to be costing 50 shillings is bought at 1,000 shillings. And then that amount of money is shared between these people.
So you're
that's how revenue is being lost. I'm just trying to elaborate to you how these 2 billion shillings
get lost
in the government. It is not a fictitious figure. It is something that is realistic. And if you pay proper attention, you can actually save that money and use that money for the kind of program that we're talking about. This is just one of them.
So if we were to look at this 6,000 shillings, why 6,000? Why not 7? Why not 5? Why 6?
6 is because this will bring these people to what we call the minimum, basically, level. Yeah, I mean, more than $1, $3 per day. And they will be able to live like other people. And it is not just a waste. You see, it is an investment. Because when you do this, the people, I mean, in the rural areas particularly, the purchasing power of these people go up. The shops in the rural areas can now do business. So the economy, the rural economy itself is stimulated through this amount of money. So it's like an economic stimulus program. It is not just a waste.
With a ripple effect.
Yes.
My final part on this particular question is currently the government has a program called the Inua Jamii, which is a cash transfer program to the elderly, to persons with disability, severe disability, and to vulnerable and orphans. So is this a similar program? Are you going to scrap the Inua Jamii program, or are you consolidating the Inua Jamii program and just adding from 2,000 shillings to 6,000 shillings?
If you go into your records, you'll find that I'm the one who launched the Inua Jamii program in Mombasa when I was Prime Minister. It was really our idea to help the elderly people and also the people with disabilities and so on. Those are people who are not able to really fend for themselves. And it was capped at 2,000 shillings. That is a separate program. These are the other group of people. Some of them, those other ones may also be included in this group. But this is over and above the Inua Jamii program. This one here is targeting those specific families who have been profiled by the National Bureau of Statistics. Okay.
Okay. Well, former